Hi, hello everyone. My name is Husna from the CCCA, and for today I'll be presenting to you guys about my first commentary video, which is I choose Ted Bundy as a subject. So basically, I'm going to tell you guys about the social deviance based on the social deviance process, which is I have 5 steps of it. So the reason why I choose Ted Bundy, or his real name is the Theodore Robert Bundy, is perhaps the most infamous and oddly popular serial killer most of the time. So millions of people are still fascinated by the Bundy 30 years after his death by the execution. So I'm going to explain to you guys about the first story, which is the mindlessly taking a first small steps. So basically, as we know that Bundy is having a very rough time during his childhood, and then he started to, around the age of 3, he started to liking the knives and something like that, and the darker side of himself is started to emerge. This is because Bundy liked to peer in others people's window and thought nothing or stealing things that he wanted from the other people. He is known as the peeping Tom. He has the ability that can be abnormal for the normal people, which is when he lock on the victim that he wants, he can stalk them without being distracted for many days, a few nights, and it can be like very fascinating for the someone like him, which is that he won't ever get distracted by it. And after that, he also keep a machine after he started to kill animals such as rabbits, cats, something like that. He kill for fun, he tortured it for fun, and it shows that how the first step that taking to be into the serial killer. The next story of the Philip Zimbabwe that I will explain to you guys is the dehumanization of others, which is the second process of it. So this means that how the predator see his victims. So basically, Bundy is very enjoy torturing his prey and found it sexually arousing. But it was the act of the murder that was his most satisfying and the final expression of power and control over his victim. This is basically show that Ted Bundy see his victims as the object, which is the instead of threat was another meaning that he has, which is the means of to dominating and controlling his victim. And other than that, he also likes to make up the head and have the conversation with it. And this is very shows that he basically see his victim as an object and not as a human being anymore, because the head is the head that is being frozen in his refrigerator after the murder. The next point, which is the third process of this theories, which is the individualization of self, which is called as anonymity. So anonymity is basically on the method how the predator use how to get the victim. So Ted Bundy always tend to prey on the young and attractive woman. This basically happened after he got broken after the breakup of he and his ex-girlfriend, where his ex-girlfriend having a long black hair. So most of the victim having a long black hair, like just like what his girlfriend had. So first near his home in Washington, before then moving to the Utah, Colorado, and finally in the Florida, Bundy would prey on this woman with a rush after wearing his arm in sling or his leg in fake case, like walking on crutches to help him to carry books or the other object from his car. So basically that how the method that Ted Bundy used to get the victim. So and then he also used cruel and cunning, charm and sympathy to win the trust of his victims and lower their defense before subduing them. In fact, he was quite proud of this and felt it was something that set him apart from the other gentlemen, which is how he referred to the other serial killer. The issue of personal responsibility is also part of the theory, which is I can say that Ted Bundy is responsible for his own action. This is because he was driven by the obsessive homicidal fantasy, which is he was compelled to murder repeatedly to satisfy his terrible desire. So based on this statement, Ted Bundy has made a confession where he said that he's trying to make the confusion on the psychologist, which is he's saying that he always heard a voice inside his head that saying to kill and keep murdering people, but that is just the way for him to escape himself from the problem that he already made. So however, the brutal and messy reality of the murder never completely fulfilled the promise of Bundy's fantasy, which is a dark persona that have been blamed. And then in fact, the aftermath of the murder usually result in emotional letdown for him. Yet the fantasy did not go away because it was too deeply immigrant in his mind and the sick. So let's see how sick he is, which is he keep blaming the other people without even realize that his own mistakes. So for the next one, I'll be telling you guys about the last one point, which is I have is the passive tolerance of evil through the inaction or indifference. This is perhaps to explain on how the people or one person can be a part of this passive tolerance of evil. So in this Ted Bundy case, I found that there are 3% that can be blamed for the passive tolerance of evil. So the first one is the police. This is because when his ex-girlfriend around 1974, Crawford, started to suspect the Ted Bundy's crime when he saw a local news about him regarding something like that, and then when she questioned him about the odd behavior he had, such as which is Ted Bundy liked to keep him clever in his desk, and he used his charm to deflect the concern of hers. So she reported to the police, but then the police consistently ruled him out based on the personality that he has, which is simply outstanding character and clean cut appearance. So basically, it's supposed to be wrong because I believe that the police should make at least an investigation on the report that his ex-girlfriend made. So the next one is the Fanger. Why Fanger is a part of the passive tolerance is because during his trial, the Fanger they like it's a group of girls coming to the library to support him during the trial. They believe that Ted is deserved to be a serial killer because of the past that he had, such as the childhood past that he had, or perhaps because of the dark persona that he believed. So basically, the fans don't even know the real one, but they believe that Ted deserves to be like that. It's then like Ted is not supposed to be judged because of that. That's very wrong. The next one is his wife. So basically, the reason why his wife is wrong in this and become part of the passive tolerance of evil, this is because they get married in around the February in 1980s, which is his wife is Carol Ann Boone, a mother of 2 who he dated before his initial arrest. And during the penalty phases of his trial, he proposed to the girl, the woman, and the woman accepted it. Why the woman accepted it is she already know that Bundy is about to be a part of the serial killer, and he is a serial killer basically. But then why you accept it if you know that he's a criminal? And then basically their marriage is legitimate in the Florida after they meet 6 years earlier when they both work at the Department of Emergency Service in Olympia, Washington. So and basically Ted and Boone having one daughter which is named Rose in 1982, and she named the Bundy as her father, and not much. And basically after reading a few articles, there's not many issue and about information regarding the Rose and the Boone. So all I can find is that Boone has eventually realized Bundy was guilty at the crime, and then she divorced him after the 3 years prior to his execution, according to the Rose book by the Strange Beside Me. And Boone stopping visit Bundy during the last 2 years of his imprisonment. So that's the reason why 3 of them, which is the police, the Fangers, and his wife, are guilty to be a part of the passive of tolerance. In conclusion, I can conclude that each of the person play a big role in this society. As you can see, the Ted Bundy, darker side keep happening time by time, age by age, that keep growing. So from this, we can say that each phases of our life, each people in our life is playing a quite big role, and even ourselves itself play a very big role. It can be seen that one of the society that need to be more open, more sporting is the society itself. It is because if we keep connecting each other, that someone like Ted Bundy won't even thinking himself as the outsider, which is that out from the society. And for the individualization itself, that I believe that Ted Bundy is supposed to be see the positive side rather than the darker side of his. This is because when he see the more positive side of himself, which is mean that I admit that he do have a very bad childhood compared to other people, but then there are still a few of the people that having the same childhood as him, which is like one of the actor that I know, and also one of the guitarists having the same childhood trauma that's like he had, but then they don't even take it as a trauma for them. It is a trauma, but then they're going to see it in a more positive way, view it in a positive way. They make them realize, oh, it doesn't mean that it's happened to me, it needs to be happened to the other people. But then compared to Ted, he make it himself as a victim of the things that happen to him. when this happened to him, it means that, oh, the other people need to go through the same thing I've been going through. That's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that at all. They show that the society need to play a very big role. Other than that, the parent itself, you need to be more understanding and more value your children. This is because since the Ted Bundy having a bad childhood, he keep saying that it is a part of the causes that made him be like that. So if the parents is being more understanding or accept the way he is, doesn't mean that he's being the legitimated children make him different from the other children. Child, it's still the same thing. Child is still a child. It doesn't mean that even he doesn't know who is the father of himself, but that is still, yeah. That's how parents supposed to play the role, which is you need to support your child no matter what happen, and you are not going to ignore them or make them feel that they are unwanted, because child always understand what's the people say, and they will trying to imitate it what they did. So I suggest that the society need to be more understanding and connect with each other in order to prevent bad things. So I can conclude that everything's happened for a reason, but then it's still the way that we view the things will make it change. Either it's become the positive way or perhaps in the darker way and negative. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.